Google is now a platinum member of the Linux Foundation. And this comes as no surprise. I mean, Android is built atop of the Linux kernel, so is Chrome OS. Their servers run Linux, and let's not forget that they run a custom Linux distro called Ubuntu at their offices. Linux runs the entire world. It's the de facto standard, and it makes sense for a company like Google to be supporting the foundation behind the free and open source software. Let's not forget that free and open source software empowered them to build one of the biggest and most influential companies in the world. But you might be asking yourself, what is the Linux Foundation? And what does Google get in exchange for $500,000 a year? Hi, I'm Gardiner, the Linux Gamer, and let's talk about this. The Linux Foundation is dedicated to building sustainable ecosystems around open source projects to accelerate technology development and industry adoption. In other words, the Linux Foundation is a non-profit organization that helps support and evangelize open source projects. They not only fund the development of the Linux kernel, but they also support high-profile projects, including Let's Encrypt, Kubernetes, Kubernetes? That's the first time I've said that word out loud, and Node.js, among many others. The Linux Foundation also hosts events and conferences, sponsors training and certification programs, and organizes projects that are beneficial to the open source community. And they do a ton of work fostering communication, building a healthy ecosystem for the open source world. But they're not without their controversy. They've done things that have quietly killed community involvement within the highest ranks of the organization. The executive director, Jim Zemlin, has a higher salary than Linus Torvalds for some reason, and Jim has embarrassingly been seen using a Mac in public as the director of the Linux Foundation. I'll try not to use that against you, Jim. Anyway, so there are now 15 platinum members of the Linux Foundation. That includes Google. A few notable members include Cisco, IBM, Intel, Microsoft, yes, that Microsoft, and Samsung. So what does a platinum member get for their annual membership fee? Well, according to the press release on the Linux Foundation's website, becoming a platinum member, the highest level of membership, of the Linux Foundation gives Google access to the Foundation's extensive knowledge and experience in open source governance, legal, and technical topics. As a platinum member, Google will also receive a seat on the Linux Foundation Board of Directors. Sarah Novotny, who will represent Google on the Linux Foundation Board of Directors, also participates on the Node.js Foundation Board. Novotny leads the open source strategy team for the Google Cloud. She has long been an open source community champion in communities such as Nginx and MySQL. And yeah, Google's one of the largest companies in the world, and they're also one of the most active open source developers. But they also have a hell of a lot of proprietary code. So yeah, I know some people will be creeped out by this, and honestly, I don't like the idea of auctioning off the right to vote to the highest bidder. So yeah, I'd like to know what you think. Is money a corrupting influence, or is the Linux Foundation just an ineffectual trade group with no real power? On the other hand, what business do proprietary software companies have as members with voting rights of what's supposed to be an open source foundation? Leave me a comment and let me know what you think, or hit me up on Twitter at the Linux Gamer. If you believe in the work that I do, you can support the show with a monthly contribution over on Patreon or LibrePay, or you can pick up a t-shirt over on Teespring. There's a link in the description. But whatever you do, whether it's hitting that like button or sharing this video with your friends, don't forget to subscribe to see more from me, the Linux Gamer. And as always, thanks so much for watching.